Hi, hello everyone. My name is Ginny and today I'm here to do story time with you. So today we're going to talk about wolves. Have you ever seen a wolf? I've only seen one at the zoo in an animal sanctuary. But I want to teach you guys something really fun really quick before we start with story time. It's about American Sign Language, ASL. So a lot of signs in ASL are really cool because they look like the thing they talk about, just like a wolf. So we have a wolf with big ears and a long snout, right? How do you think we say wolf in ASL? We go like this. Wolf. Kind of like the long snout of a wolf. So a lot of signs in American Sign Language are just like that. They mimic what they talk about, like cow and a cow horn, or maybe spider, like this. And those kind of look like the animals they say, right? That's so cool. Okay, well now that we know the sign for a wolf, we're gonna say hello. And you guys might remember this song from the past few weeks. So we're gonna say hello, friends. Are you ready? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Good job! You just did more sign language. Isn't that cool? Okay, well, today during story time, the reason I taught you how to say wolf is because we're going to say wolf with sign language every time we read it or hear it, okay? Can you do that for me? Anytime you hear the word wolf, just make this motion, wolf. All right, so let's get started. Our first story is called Let's Sing a Lullaby with the Brave Cowboy by Jan Thomas. I'm going to come up a little closer to you so that you can see all the wonderful pictures in this book. Let's Sing a Lullaby with the Brave Cowboy by Jan Thomas. Time to hit the hay, little cows. It's time for little cows to rest their heads. It's time for little cows to go to bed. It's time for little cows to sleep so tight. It's time for us to say. What do you think they want to say? Good night? Yeah, that's right. Well, let's see what they say. Meek! Whoa. Well, that's not what I expected. Is that a huge, hairy spider over there? Where do you think the cowboy sees a huge, hairy spider? Do you see it? Right here. Is that a huge, hairy spider? It's just a flower, cowboy, says the cow. Oh, says Cowboy. Well, let's try that lullaby again then, shall we? Let's sing. It's time for little cows to rest their heads. It's time for little cows to go to bed. It's time for little cows to sleep so tight. It's time for us to say. Eek! Oh no! Is that a slimy, slithering snake right there? Do you guys see a slimy, slithering snake? Right here. It's just a stick, Cowboy. Oh, says Cowboy. But is there a large lumbering bear behind me? Do you see a large lumbering bear? It's just me, Cowboy. Oh. Okay, hey, I see how this works. It may look like a huge, shaggy, gray wolf over there. Do you see what could be a big, gray wolf? Grrr, grrr. And it may sound like one too. Eek! Uh-oh. The cows think it might be a big gray wolf. But it's probably just a big giant bunny rabbit, right? No, Cowboy, it's a wolf! Do wolves like lullabies? What do you think? Do wolves like lullabies? Like them? We love them, says the wolf. Well, alrighty then. It's time for us to rest our heads. It's time for us to go to bed. It's time for us to sleep so tight. It's time for us to say good night. You see them all cuddled up. The brave cowboy, the big gray wolf, and both the little cows. And that's the end. That is such a fun and funny story. I hope you liked it too. We're going to jump in really quickly to another story. But this story, I don't have a book for. I'm going to tell it. So, it's called The Gunniwolf. And I'm going to use Mr. Wolf, our friend here, to help me tell it. Remember, anytime we say wolf, I need you to help me by going like this. Wolf. Okay, now this story is a long traditional tale, but it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys will see. All right, are you ready? Okay, it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in the edge of a forest with her mother in a tiny little house. And her mother every day would warn her, "Little girl, don't you ever go into the forest alone, because there a ferocious beast called the Gunniwolf lives." And little girl every single day would say, "Me? No, 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 Mom. I would never go into the forest alone." And so one day, Mom had to go out to buy some groceries. But before she left, she said, "Little girl, do you remember what I said? Never, ever go into that forest alone, okay?" And little girl said, "Not me. I would never go into the forest alone." And so little girl stood at the door and she waved goodbye as her mom walked along the path to the grocery store. But as soon as little girl was about to close that door, out of the corner of her eye, she saw a bright orange flower just on the edge of the woods. It wasn't technically in the forest, right? Well, before long, little girl forgot everything that her mama had told her, and she went to pick the flowers. So as she picked those orange flowers, she sang a song. It went like this. Kum-kwa, khi-wa, kum-kwa, khi-wa. And pretty soon she had a nice bouquet of orange flowers. And she was ready to turn back to her house to put them in water and give them to her mama once she came back from the store. But just as little girl was turning around to go back to her house, out of the corner of her eye, she saw just further into the forest some bright blue flowers. Well, little girl couldn't resist those, and soon she forgot everything that her mama had told her. So she went and picked those blue flowers, and she sang, "Kum-kwa, khi-wa, kum-kwa, khi-wa." And pretty soon she had a huge bouquet of blue flowers to add to her orange ones. And she was so excited because her mama was gonna love this present. And just as she turned back to go back to her house, out of the corner of her eye, what do you think she saw? she saw in the very deep, dark part of the woods a bunch of purple flowers. She loved the color purple, and she forgot everything that her mama had told her. She walked deep into the woods and began picking those purple flowers. Kum-kwa, khi-wa, kum-kwa, khi-wa. Pretty soon she had that giant bouquet of purple flowers, that giant bouquet of blue flowers, and that giant bouquet of orange flowers. And just as she was gathering them all up to take back to the house, out came the Gunniwolf. And the Gunniwolf stood in front of the girl, and he said, "Little girl, sing that sweet song again." The little girl was scared, but she tried her best to stand tall, to hold her flowers and sing the song. Kum-kwa, khi-wa, kum-kwa, khi-wa. And pretty soon, the wolf's eyes closed. What do you think he was doing? That's right, the wolf was sleeping. And little girl knew this was her chance, so she ran pit-a-pat, 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 as fast as she could. But the Gunniwolf woke up, and he went honk-a-cha, 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 running after her. Pretty soon he caught up. He said, "Little girl, why do you go?" And little girl said, "Who, me? I didn't go." "Okay, sing that sweet song again." So little girl sang again. Kum-kwa, khi-wa, kum-kwa, khi-wa. Pretty soon, the wolf's eyes closed and he laid down. And the little girl knew this was her chance. She ran pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. But the wolf woke up. Honk-a-cha, honk-a-cha, honk-a-cha. And Wolf caught up with little girl. He said, "Little girl, why do you go?" Little girl said, "Who, me? I didn't go." And Wolf said, "Then sing that sweet song again." So little girl sang her song again. Are you ready to sing it with me? Kum-kwa, khi-wa, kum-kwa, khi-wa. And pretty soon the wolf's eyes closed. He laid down and his head curled up all the way next to his tail. And little girl knew this was her last chance, so she ran pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. And the wolf woke up, and he ran honk-a-cha, honk-a-cha, honk-a-cha. And little girl ran pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. And Wolf ran honk-a-cha, honk-a-cha, honk-a-cha. And little girl ran pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. She opened her door, ran inside, and slammed the door shut. And Wolf could not get her. Well, little girl knew that if she ever dared go back into that forest, she knew that she was smarter and faster than that Gunniwolf. And that's the tale of the Gunniwolf. Was that a fun tale? It was a little bit scary, wasn't it? But little girl was much faster and much smarter than that Gunniwolf. All right, well, that's all the time we have today to do our story time. I hope you guys remember the word wolf and some of the other ones that we experimented with, like spider and cat. You can use those signs whenever you're talking about those animals. They're really fun. Okay, but for now we have to say goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for coming and watching, and pretty soon, hopefully, we'll see you again. Next Tuesday at least.